Hello friends, my name is Ramasu. Today we shall discuss about topic the challenges and solutions for Scrum in large organizations. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management, Scrum framework and software development especially. So let's start, friend. So first of all, we have to understand and that what is a Scrum actually. Scrum is a agile based approach for managing the projects in which we basically divide the work into multiple chunks, and that chunk is called a sprint. And with each sprint, we plan, develop, test, and deploy the things and deliver the work to the customer. Now, if we talk about basically Scrum, basically friend, Scrum is nowadays very common, and very many organizations are using Scrum based approaches for managing their software based projects, especially mobile application development and other software based projects are basically based on the concepts of managing through the Scrum framework. Now, when we talk about large organizations and complex projects, the scenario become different, and it has their own set of challenges and issues and complexity when we are implementing Scrum in large scale organizations or complex projects. So today we shall discuss the challenges nowadays which we are facing, and also the solutions which we can adopt to handle the things. So challenges and solutions. First one is the communication and coordination. Friend, here the challenge is that when multiple Scrum teams are working on different parts of a project, for example, one team is working on one module and another team is working on any other location on any other module. So basically the communication, collaboration and coordination among teams is basically different, become very much difficult. For example, one team is in one city, another is outside the country or outside the city. So how will you manage those teams, how those teams will collaborate with each other? And for that purpose, you can solution is that you can implement a regular scrum meetings, use collaborative tools and establish clear communication tools channels, emphasize transparency and ensure all teams are aligned on goals. Scrum is basically the concept here in the Scrum in which like one representative from each team member, he can be a scrum master as well, who basically attend the meeting of a scrum. Like for example, if there are five teams are working on a product, for example, so five representative from each team will participate in the scrum meeting, in which they basically discuss the issues, challenges, bottlenecks, problems, and they basically communicate with each other so that everyone is on the same page. Then next is the dependency management. Here friend, many times it happens that for example, if five teams are working on a product, so like for example, uh, team B has a dependency on the team A. For example, when the team A complete any particular product, any product task, so that they can start their own task. Okay, so team B has a dependency, for example, on the team A, so it becomes hinder progress, and it causes delays when there are dependencies. Especially it becomes a huge issue when there is no clarity about the dependencies among the team members. So it's very important to identify the dependencies proactively. Okay, and establish a dependency management process, conduct regular cross teams meeting, and use tools to visualize and track dependencies. Nowadays many tools are available, like for example Jira, project server. So many tools are nowadays available, software tools, which through which you can identify the dependencies. And many teams who are working on same product and same project, they can collaborate with each other and they can have the visibility about the dependencies on the product as well. Product backlog management. When the product is very huge and very complex, so basically making prioritization and handling the product backlog is also a very big challenge. Product backlog is basically a set of requirements or features required for a product. Okay, and simply you just think of this like, for example, customer can sign up in a e-commerce solution, customer can do the payment through the e-commerce solution, for example. So basically product backlog is basically a set of feature required for a product. Now when the product is very huge and many teams are working on the same product, so managing those features also become a very big huge issue. So solution is that have a dedicated product owner and product management team to manage the overall product backlog, prioritize items based on business value and dependencies, and regularly review and refine the backlog items as well. If you have a dedicated product owner, or you can have a product management team who is basically responsible, they have a responsibility to manage, so it will be easier to manage the product backlog. Then roles and responsibility clarification. Friend, when the teams are huge, projects are complex, so the roles and responsibilities often become blurred and or duplicated. Same people are working on the same things. Okay, same teams, multiple teams are working on the same module. Many times it happens in these types of issues. So clearly defined roles and responsibilities at all levels, from team members to leadership, ensure that everyone understands their role in the agile framework and how it contributes to the overall success. Organizational culture means that existing organizational culture is also become a resistance to the adoption of the agile practices. Like, for example, one organization is already working on the waterfall approach, so there is very big resistance under the within the organization to accept the agile approach. So foster a culture of openness, collaboration and continuous improvement. Provide training and coaching to help employees at all levels understand and embrace agile values. Then scaling Scrum events means that the scaling sprint ceremonies like daily Scrum, sprint review, sprint planning to accommodate multiple teams can be challenging as well. So use tools and technologies for virtual collaboration, conduct scaled ceremonies like Scrum or Nexus sprint review, and ensure consistency in event timing and structure across teams. Okay, then training and skill development means that ensuring the team, scrum master and product owner have the necessary training and skills to effectively work in a scaled scrum environment. Invest in agile training programs, provide ongoing coaching and encourage certifications. Foster a culture of continuous learning to keep teams updated on the best practices as well. Here remember friend one thing, that if you invest on the training, so obviously it will pay back to you as well. Resistance to change means that many organizations have challenges to accept the agile. So solution is that you must have to open dialogue, involve key stakeholder in the decision making process, and demonstrate the value of agile through small successful pilot projects. Then tooling and infrastructure mean that inadequate tools and infrastructure that do not support the needs of scaled agile practices become a challenge. So invest in tools that facilitate collaboration, visibility and reporting across teams. Ensure that the infrastructure can support agile development, continuous integration and delivery practices.